So what do you do if your team is serving and the returner immediately lobs that ball over the service partner? What can you do other than tracking that ball down and then just re-lobbing, lobbing that ball back? Is there something you can do that's a little bit more aggressive? And the answer is yes, there's a couple things you can do. So the first thing you can do, just the simplest, is a positioning adjustment by the service partner. So the service partner is going to line up like normal, but as the returner is about to hit, service partner is going to drop back into coverage. So they'll just back up to, like, let's say the service line. In this case, they might even slide towards the middle a little bit in the ad court so that there's more overheads on the sword, so just a normal overhead, and it's not over the backhand side. And they'll try and pick off anything that's a mediocre lob in that case. Obviously, if you don't have the greatest serve in the world, then villain will be able to hit better lobs. So if that is happening, so that's the first thing I would try, drop into coverage, right? See if the service partner can get it. But you're gonna hold that move until they're about to hit so that they don't anticipate it. So that's number one. If that doesn't work, then I would use a play called the bounce overhead guy. This is a play Bob and Mike Bryan use all the time. So that lob is coming over here, and what you should do is you come over and get this. Your partner is gonna slide over to this end of the court and maybe backs a little bit or just kind of get out of the way. And you want to hit a bounce overhead off of this shot. So the lob comes in, you let it bounce, and then you're gonna hit this as an overhead. A great thing to do in this situation is actually hit like a kick serve or a slice serve, put a little English on that thing so it moves a little bit and makes it really hard to judge. And after you hit that shot, and you can just drive it through the middle in this case, like this, just aim for kind of a big target. You don't want to hit it at the net player, although if you put some slice on it or some spin, it's actually gonna be a tough volley. Just somewhere over there, your partner is gonna come back in and stand in the middle of the court because you're gonna expect a defensive shot and you want them to be able to volley it and pick it off. If it's a lob, in this case, they might be able to get it. But if they can't get it, then you do the exact same thing. Let's say the lob's just somewhere here. This person clears out. You let the ball bounce, hit an overhead, and then you basically rinse and repeat until you win the point. But you're basically almost ending up kind of in an I formation after this overhead. So you hit the overhead, and then it's I, so that this player picks off anything short, and then you just repeat the play if it gets over this partner's head. So that is how you deal with an opposing team that likes to lob you to death. So lob's a tough one. This one, that situation happens. I play with my dad. He's 80 years old, so he doesn't move. We play father-son doubles every week when I'm in town, but he doesn't move as quick. So the dropping into coverage one is actually one I use a lot, and he doesn't move great to get over. So I actually have to cover this entire side of the court. And I'll just run back and hit a ground stroke in that case. If I can't hit an overhead, I'll just run around and hit a forehand and just kind of go from there. But if you're quick enough, then definitely use the bounce overhead guy. Hope you like that training, and let me ask you a question. Have you ever seen a unicorn? Well, neither have I, but what I have seen is players get much better when they pick up a copy of the singles playbook or the doubles playbook. So just click the link, check it out, and I'll show you some of my favorite plays.